And you become special prosecutor once seven. And any breaking story, no. Every document you are seeing in the system. You know one thing, I control Ghana media. Open authentic platform. Reliable document. I'm about to do another crazy expose of health. Maybe I did and sink a crankakra. Mu MP before I'm telling you in Ghana. Me catch them say me go party before 2027. And I'll make sure me go no na me go sun sanam de eye de shnap na koma otumfo de atosi kedwa kofi nchan ma catch them. Me kan ye me si me go party no me go sun sa na sa shnap no Holland de ma chekere me tu ma tum na me de akoma otumfo so onfa to sikedwa kofi nchan me si me go no me ba be another expose on health mama mfensuo next week or maybe this week mobehu the damage these people have done to you mobehu how dangerous the MPP they are. These are dangerous people. Now let's enter the wagon. These are the three musketeers at our special prosecutor's office. Very dangerous people. Sameda Akon, Akurugu, and Akisie Jabin, the El Capitano. Sanko for me in some way. If the president is listening to me, you need to sack them, investigate them, and prosecute them. I'm going to say this again. Sanko for me in some way at the office of the special prosecutor. Say Ghana, CPC move forward. This government needs to do everything to sack these three people, investigate them, and prosecute them. These people have made special prosecutor's office a cash cow. They are dangerous men. And when I talk about dangerous men, they are the ones between us fighting corruption, us fighting people who have stolen from us. These three people. From the office of the special prosecutor. Kisie Jabin is a very dangerous man. Kisie Jabin or a nipebia or a very diabolic. And he's a very good actor. Or a very good in acting. So Upobia, he can use his actions to deceive you. Yakas obi a chameleon. Kisie Jabin. Kisie Jabin, the features are so different from Kenofuriata. Sit back and analyze very well. The line of conversation, his gestures, the way he processes things, and the way he's able to buy your mind. Kisie Jabin and Kenofuriata almost use the same playbook. They always play the victim. That is the strategy. And you see, in our Ghanaian culture, we see people who always play victims as people who are being who are always right, who are supposed to be protected, and that is the game these people play with us. So Kisie Jabin and Sanko for me anyway, amuna $14 million a year. Near the special prosecutor's office. These are the people who spend the money. Yeah. Because I don't think there's anybody in the special prosecutor's office who takes more salaries or whose pecs and as incentives or office is bigger than these three people. Nobody. These are the three people who handle the $14 million. That budget in the special prosecutor's office. These are the three people. Kisie Jabin is a millionaire. Kisie Jabin has basically fortified himself when it comes to maneuvering, finding ways and means to make us believe he's working. We cannot dish out $14 million every 12 months to this man, and then at the end of the month, he will come and give us press conference and sing and tell us to say, oh, yeah, and then we sit in Ghana and fold our arms and say, hey, no, it should never happen again. Since this guy was made a special prosecutor, he has not put anybody in jail. This guy has tactically evaded accountability. And what he does all the time is that he is more proactive when it comes to being taking care of the issue before we even get there. And you see this guy, he's proactive in protecting criminals. He can look through the system. Well, remember, all these security agencies, they talk to each other somehow. It might not be direct, but indirect. And all these whispers, he hears them, and he knows who has stolen from who has stolen from us. And he's always the first to knock at criminals' doors. Because the moment he does that, all the security agencies have to step back. In the first place, the Special Prosecutor's Office, the intentions are not it was wrong. And I'm talking about Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo setting up the Special Prosecutor's Office. It wasn't to fight corruption. Now, you know, the Special Prosecutor's Office was one, to go after his political opponents. That was straightforward. And that was to go after Mahama and his brothers, go after the NDC, go after. So strategically, as we all know, Akufo-Addo, very diabolical, slimy, dangerous politician, he wanted to use the same NDC to prosecute NDC. And what he did was he convinced Martin Amidu, who was bitter already. Martin Amidu, who always felt he was supposed to be vice president than Mahama. Martin Amidu, who always felt he's intelligent than anybody in the NDC. The moment they approached him, he saw it as a good opportunity to prove himself to his own NDC. So he looked through and saw a better man, Martin Amidu, and said, come and be the special prosecutor. Now, when Martin Amidu came into office, Martin Amidu realized that the document he is seeing and the level of corruption going on, he realized that what is in front of him or ahead of him is greater than what is behind him. Because he took a step back and he could not get anything substantial to prosecute. Now, when Martin Amidu decided to look at what is in front of him, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo switched. Now, at a point, Martin Amidu was like, you know what? You are forcing me to do something that I know I cannot do. Because there's a difference between somebody being accused of something and somehow being guilty, and somebody you are forcing somebody to be guilty about something. Now, Martin Amidu Behu say Akufo-Addo didn't see officer just to go after enemies. Now, what happened was, time Akufo-Addo said Martin Amidu does not want to play ball. They devised a plan and they kicked him out. Now, after Akufo-Addo kicked Martin Amidu out, he still needed to make a statement, because now the agenda has still not been fulfilled. And the agenda is to prosecute Mahama, prosecute his brothers, go after the NDC, and make sure they put all of them in jail. But he wanted to do it without his fingerprints being shown in there. That is the modus operandi of these Achim Sakawa boys. Gabi, Ufuriata, Bamti, that is their work. They stay behind the scenes. It's the same way they did the PDS. They will sit back, get their boys to do the damage, and then when you start to point fingers, you won't see them. Unless you are like me, you go deep and bring WhatsApp chat, bring documents, audios, before you can see their fingerprints in there. So they basically decided to look for somebody who would do that job. Now, when this guy came into office, he realized that the Akufo-Addo government and the Akufo-Addo family, they have done too much damage. Now, this guy did not know what to do. Is he going to go after the Akufo-Addo government? Or he's going to just let them slide and then make his money? So this guy adopted a strategy. I'm not going to go after them. I am going to make sure that I also make enough money from this office. So what he did was, I am now going to be a protector of the people who employed me. Instead of him being a prosecutor, he became a protector. So instead of him prosecuting these people who are in government and what he came to meet, remember, this guy came to meet a lot of prosecutorial docket on the desk of Martin Amidu. In fact, he came to meet Ejapa, he came to meet PDS, he came to meet low-hanging fruit cases. He did not touch them. Now, what this guy came to represent was a protector of corruption. Now, what we are seeing now is that Kissie Jabi, who was supposed to be a prosecutor, who was supposed to be the mouthpiece of us, the watchdog, now Kissie Jabi has become the protector of his employer. And he is now protecting the people who employed him to be sitting on